What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barça Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news. Over the past few days, we do have some big topics to discuss. Firstly, in regards to the future of Ter Stegen, absolutely all over the place right now. Surgery has been confirmed though and has been successful. He will be out for a long period of time, and now Barcelona are planning for his future, how to get rid of him in January. The German national team coach Julian Nagelsmann has come out defending Barcelona's action and saying that Ter Stegen has to leave if he wants to play at the World Cup. And following Ter Stegen, most likely leaving, going to be out for the first half of the season, the club do plan to strip him of his captain armband and give it to someone else. There is going to be a voting happening soon. Right now we're hearing, according to reports, that Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, Inigo Martinez, and Ferran Torres are options to replace Ter Stegen. Right now, in terms of the boardroom though, priority is sales. Iñaki Peña, Héctor Fort, Romeu, and Christensen, the main four players right now on the chopping block, as they of course do go through and they are completing renewals. A renewal for Jules Kounde, 100 million% agreed and done. Fantastic news with Frenkie de Jong and Eric Garcia to come next. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. Also, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, before we get into this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is by far the best replica jersey website on the market, and it's not even close. They have a variety of different items at the absolute best prices. They sent me two kits recently. First one is the retro Barcelona kit, the home kit, which I'm currently wearing right now, and also as well the second kit for that season in the blue edition. Oh my god, like the stitching is fantastic, the quality is, superb. Feels like I have the actual, original kit for a fraction of the price. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get 10% off your order. That's BOY. Use it at checkout, and all orders above $80 as well will receive free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Hit the top link in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past few days, and unfortunately, to be honest, the only transfer news that we do have is that there is going to be no more transfer news, as Barcelona do not plan to make any more signings this summer. According to an interview that Joan Laporta, the president, has done with Mundo Deportivo, he was asked will there be any more reinforcement this summer, and he said that in principle, no, we have a squad and the coach wants to bring players from Barça Athletic into the first team dynamic, but no additions are expected at the moment. Regarding departures, there must be an important sale that could be vital in terms of income to complete registrations. Said a major sale, I don't think it will happen, even though there are proposals that would break the spirit in the team, which has enhanced the Barca fans, and we want to maintain that spirit and that magic. And he was asked finally, so there won't be no painful departure like Araujo. Said that's what I meant. We will try to avoid any painful departure. I won't mention specific players because they all belong to Barcelona and we're happy with all of them. Well, there will be some adjustments because there are too many players in some positions, duplicates, and something that will have to be done, and that's up to the coach and Deco. Big hit there, I think, on the goalkeeper position. But as of right now, the president is confirming there are no more signings planned. Of course, injuries and market opportunities and this and that can change things, but as of right now, we are not planning to make another signing, and I think that is the wrong move. I think we do need a fullback reinforcement. We've been saying now for months and months, left wing fullback. So I think this is a big loss. Again, there is no fullback on the market that screens Barcelona and screams good opportunity, good player, what we need, maybe apart from Carmaldo, which we don't even know if that release clause is true or not, but I do think we need a fullback signing, and I think that's, something they're going to miss out on, but we'll wait and see how things do develop in the market. Of course, still a month left to go, and anything can happen. Let's now discuss the players that have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past few days. First up is the big one, Ter Stegen. Following Barcelona not making any more signings, their, of course, full focus now is on departures. We have some big updates on Ter Stegen's future. Firstly, around the armband around his left, bicep, him being the captain at the club. Fernando Polo of Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Ter Stegen's captaincy since last season could be in jeopardy. Barcelona want to strip the German goalkeeper of his armband. It's a mutual decision between the club and the coaching staff due to the goalkeeper's attitude and because the team needs a valid link between the Flick and the rest of the squad. Now it's up to Hansi Flick, who must address the issue, but he has the club's full support, starting with Deco and the board of directors. Everybody behind the scene wants to strip Ter Stegen of the captain's armband. Comes down really now to Flick and the players. We've seen now Eric Garcia speak about this after the Visa Cope match, saying that, yeah, we'll wait and see when we go back to Barcelona from the Asia tour. We're expecting the decision. I think Flick mentioned that in a press conference as well. Fernando Polo also mentioned that Barcelona recommended Ter Stegen to issue a joint statement about his injury at the same time, but the German wanted to get ahead of himself an hour early when he had to release a statement with his letter on social media. In Catalan, Barcelona are very angry that he set a date for his return before having undergone the surgery itself. Frank Carras came out saying that Ter Stegen has been angry with Barcelona ever since he knew that Joan Garcia was going to arrive, and messages began to arrive that the club's intention was to let him go to free up the wage bill. Meanwhile, Barcelona did not like his attitude towards the end of last season when he, after returning from the injury, he decided himself to be to talking and wanted to be a starter again, something that Flick did not buy into. Ter Stegen went to the Nation League very angry as he didn't play the last game against Athletic Club, and the anger increased when he knew that Joel Garcia was coming. Ahead of preseason, Flick told Ter Stegen that Joel Garcia would be the starting goalkeeper and that Szczesny would be the backup goalkeeper. Fernando Polo also mentioned that at Barcelona they believe that Ter Stegen is no longer a valid link between the squad and the coaching staff, the sporting department, and the board, in addition to not being considered by Flick as either a first team or a second team goalkeeper for the long term. His release of his own medical statement was the last straw for Barcelona. Ben Aid came out saying the relationship between Barcelona and Ter Stegen is in continuous decline, which is quite a rare thing to say. Following this as well, Fernando Polo came out with another report saying that Barcelona took Ter Stegen's statement announcing that he will undergo surgery. In his opinion, that he'll be out for 3 months very badly. The club believes that it was a ploy to hinder Joao Garcia's registration. In any case, the case will be resolved by La Liga's medical tribunal. If the surgery, Barcelona's medical services deem that he'll be out for more than 4 months. If the tribunal agrees, Barcelona will be able to use 80% of his salary space to register players. Marca confirmed this as well. The relationship between Ter Stegen and the club's leadership is badly damaged, with tension escalating after disagreements over how his surgery was announced, to the point that his captaincy is now at risk. His refusal to leave was not well received by the club as well, and his departure would have freed up a large portion of the wage bill and brought in much needed income. Despite that, he has remained firm on his decision to stay. Also, on top of this, Ter Stegen got ahead of the club by posting on social media the decision to undergo surgery to address his lower back problems. He even specified that he would be back in 3 months, implying his absence would not be enough for Barcelona to use his space. Barcelona later issued a statement confirming that he'll be without recovery time. A medical team, however, estimated that he will be out for about 4 to 6 months, which qualify for, of course, the long-term injury for FFP purposes. Finally, Sport came out saying that Ter Stegen will undergo his surgery in the next few days, and after the procedure, the club will assess whether or not the timeline will be disclosed publicly. Ultimately, be La Liga's medical committee, a commission that review all the medical reports and decide whether he'll be able to use 8% of his salary or not. Now, on his way to the airport, Ter Stegen to have surgery, which, by the way, he refused to travel with any Barcelona medical staffs accompanied by him whatsoever. He was stopped at the airport by your boy Carlos Monfront, probably the number one Barcelona journalist, just transfer window, and he was asked, "Is your relationship with the club good?" He said, "Yes, of course. It's always been good." Of course, he is lying. Following this, Fernando Polo came out saying that we operated on a key concept because the club has always said it's a relapse. Also important, under supervision of the club's medical staff. Obviously, the report of La Liga will be made by the club after speaking with the surgeon, and as the club insists, he will be out for about 4 to 5 months. Now, on his future at the club, which again is still in the air, you have now the German national team manager Julian Nagelsmann speaking on Ter Stegen's situation. Do not forget, we have the World Cup next summer. He came out on Ter Stegen's situation, his future, something like that, saying that, in my mind, I know that Ter Stegen will come back around December, then play 2 matches in March, then also in June for preparation for the World Cup, and then participate in the World Cup. He is our number one when he is healthy, and the number one at his club. He knows that. So he's insisting here that he is the number one as long as he's healthy, and he's the number one goalkeeper wherever club he's at. So if he's number 4 at Barcelona, he ain't starting in the World Cup, which is, again, big advantage for Barcelona here. This is the German national team manager that holds Ter Stegen's dreams of starting and being the German number 1 goalkeeper at the World Cup, saying that if you're not healthy and if you're not the number 1 goalkeeper at your club, whether you're Galatasaray, Barcelona, Man City, or Elche, you will not start the World Cup. Garcia followed this report, came out saying there are important figures at Barcelona who want to strip Ter Stegen of the captaincy. If it were up to the senior executives, they would already take it away from him. As of right now, the decision lies with mainly the dressing room. He carries weight, but it's not one of those most well-liked players. So they'll probably have a voting when they come back from the Asian tour. Then Flick will make his final choice based on the voting. He mentioned in the preseason press conference, players always vote. That's the best way to do it, and I fully buy that as well. I think picking the captains is quite stupid. We are hearing that Inigo Martinez, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Ferran, Torres that have, big names to replace Ter Stegen. We're going to probably see Araujo, Raphinha, De Jong, and Pedri kind of jump up the ladder. I don't even think we should have 5 captains, and the only reason why we have 5 is because when it's a goalkeeper and you can't talk to the referee, you need that additional player on the pitch. Plus, having a captain as your goalkeeper is a captain. So annoying. Following, of course, his surgery, which was successful, the club released a statement saying he'll be out for, his recovery will depend based on his availability or whatever it was. Having Miguel came out saying that Barcelona has begun the process to register Ter Stegen as a long-term injury in order to access 80% of his salary for player registration. In the preliminary report following the surgery in Bordeaux, specialists confirmed a 4-month recovery timeline, which will be included in the club's filing to submit to La Liga. The club must also provide full recovery protocols, additional tests like MRIs, surgery footage, and the goalkeeper's medical history. Fucking hell, man, La Liga are just a pain. In the end, Barcelona has 30 days to submit the full documentation, though it intends to do so by next week. La Liga's expert committee will then evaluate the case. Of the usual 4 doctors, only 3 will participate due to one of the members having past ties with the club. If approved, it will clear the way for Barcelona to register a replacement using Ter Stegen's salary margin. So the club will be preparing that report to send to La Liga to use his space during the first half of the season, and hopefully at this point he will leave in January. Hopefully January, May, the season market opportunity. People will be, whoever's desperate for a goalkeeper, that come and try and get Ter Stegen out there. But his, role, his view, his persona at Barcelona is just nothing but downward spiral, absolutely dying. I think what he's been doing is absolutely pathetic. Releasing the statement saying I'm only going to be out for about 3 months, what he did at the end of the last season as well as a captain is embarrassing. I cannot wait for him to be stripped of the captaincy, and I cannot wait for him to leave the club. Now, Ter Stegen is not the only goalkeeper that Barcelona do want to get rid of. They're also trying to get, offload Inaki Peña. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that with Peña being the only first-team goalkeeper currently registered in La Liga alongside the inner Ter Stegen, he won't leave until Joao Garcia and Szczesny are officially registered. So until we get, Ter Stegen's documentations, filed through, the club are going to hold back a little bit on Inaki Pena's departure because he is the only registered goalkeeper as of right now. But his departure, again, is going to be something that's going to be evaluating. No real concrete offers have come in for him as of right now, but hopefully some things will come up for him in the near future as we do progress in the transfer window. Another player in which Barcelona do want to get rid of and offload is Oriol Romeu, as confirmed reports are suggesting that Romeu is expected to be leaving Barcelona on a permanent basis in the next few days, and again he is in negotiations for a contract termination with Barcelona. So no sale, we're gonna get nothing back for Romeu, and this is probably the best solution for all parties. Just now waiting for that final agreement to be put through, and again hopefully this will all be done by the time we have the Joao Gapper match, worst case scenario, before the start of the La Liga season. Now, a player's future at the moment that is currently in doubt is the future of Hector Fort. According to Ivan San Antonio of Sport, Hector Fort could leave Barcelona this summer, although he hoped to earn Hans Flick's trust at right back. Jules Kounde and Eric Garcia are currently ahead of him, and the club is now more open to transferring him for financial gain. Look, I really do rate Hector Fort. I think he is a talent. I definitely wouldn't sell him unless it's going to be like a Pablo Torre deal where you sell him with a buyback and a right to first refusal. I think a low move would be very ideal for him. I think him and Flick have something between them, whether it's, Fort turning up late for training, maybe not trying too much, or whether, Flick just doesn't rate him. It's quite evident from last season that from the minutes that he got, that Flick doesn't really rank him highly. We've seen, Casado cover at right back, Eric Garcia, Koundé ahead of Fort. So there's something definitely between the player and the coach, I feel like. But for me personally, I think he's a talent, man. I really think he's probably the best fullback talent that I've seen come out of La Masia in my lifetime. That I've seen like straight from the team. Of course, Jordi Alba, we bought him back and stuff like that. But straight from La Masia to the first team, fullback talent, I think he's definitely the best that I've seen. So I'd be very cautious in, retaining parts of his future. Of course, we did renew his contract last season until I believe 2027 or 2028, something like that. Maybe 2029. Maybe even I don't think it's 2026, but we'll wait and see what happens with the future of Hector Fort. But I think we're more so looking at a road out than a road in. Another player in the same situation as Hector Fort is Andreas Christensen. According to Mundo Deportivo, Christensen has received offers this summer, and as Barcelona's 5th choice center back, his exit would free up a major salary. The club will consider any suitable offers to recover value before his contract ends in 2026. So it looks like Barcelona don't really plan to keep Christensen in the long term. I still think, again, like Hector Fort, fully fit Christensen starts for this team. I don't know how he's 5th choice when we only have 4 center backs. I don't know if they're counting Eric Garcia. If Eric Garcia at right back is ahead of Christensen at center back, then I mean, yeah, but we saw how well Christensen played. I just think he needs that chance, needs that bit of run, and we'll wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised if we're out here twerking and begging for him to renew his contract in January after a great start to the season. So we'll wait and see. Again, if offers do come in, you kind of have to take it, especially if it's for cash as well. When we signed him for free, sell him for cash, that's pure profit for FFP. So that'd be a big bonus for us in terms of, you know, maybe even returning to the 1-run rule. So we'll see on Christensen. I think it really comes down to what comes in. I don't think Barcelona are going to force him out. I think he's very content to stay. I think if he does stay, hopefully he can have an impact in this team. Now, one player that could be making a surprise exit this summer is the talented winger Jan Virgili. Following him I don't think he was selected for the Asia Tour. Things, reports about his future became, quite known. Gigantes came out saying that Barcelona and Mallorca are negotiating the transfer of Jan Virgili. The player looks to move with good eyes, and Barcelona are studying formulas to close the deal. Following this, Fernando Polo came out saying that it is Jan Virgili himself who wants to leave Barcelona, and the club has been surprised by the decision. The player claims that he's not convinced about playing in the 4th division as it is too small for him, while Barcelona believes he is still in his formula of years and needs to play in the reserve team. Barcelona value Virgili highly, but he wants to leave and doesn't appreciate playing in the lower division. Then he must bring an offer that satisfies everyone at the club, and an exit could be then facilitated. According to Barcelona, even though they got relegated, Barca Athletic is the stepping stone for the first team, and Hansi Flick often gives chances to youngsters. So far, no other players act like Virgili, but if anyone will receive the same message as him to bring an offer of around 4 million euros plus 50% of a sell-on fee. Again, this comes as quite a surprise to the club, just how highly rated he is. But this is a problem with Barca Athletic getting relegated last season. Players will not want to play in such a low division to hinder the development. But to be honest, I think from what I've seen, I think Virgili is a player that we can't afford to lose. I think he's of course talented, no doubt about that, has quality, but I don't think he's that step up like your Lamine Yamal. I think Samu Namoku, the winger currently with the Juvenile A as well, I think he has more potential than Jan Virgili. So I would maybe sacrifice more to keep him than Jan, but we'll wait and see what we can bring in from him. Again, selling a player like him for 4 million is quite a lot with no name to make and stuff like that. So this would be great money coming into Barcelona as well. But this again comes as quite surprising and it's a bit disappointing for Barcelona as a club. So we'll see what happens with Jan Virgili's future. But right now he is requesting to maybe move elsewhere. Now, in terms of offers coming in for important Barcelona players, there are 2 players that are attracting interest from Saudi, and it's our 2 strikers in Ferran Torres and Robert Lewandowski. Firstly, on Ferran Torres, Gigantes came out saying that Saudi Arabia clubs are considering Ferran Torres and are ready to offer him 60 million euro salary over the course of 3 years, so of course 20 each year, and they'd be willing to pay whatever Barcelona ask for him. I would sell him right now for 60 million. They offer that, I will take your hand off. I think Ferran Torres is good. I think he had a great last season, definitely overperformed, but now at risk, I'm willing to run back. But of course, I will run it back. I will not run it back, for the right price. We of course bought him, I think, for 55, so we can sell him for 60. Anything over 60, maybe of course I'll push higher for them. I'll say 75, something like that. But my bottom dollar for Ferran would be 60. Otherwise, I'll run it back with him, see how he does following last season. But it'll be interesting to see how, money and persuasion can come into play here. And also the same for Lewandowski as well. Mundo Deportivo came out saying that several Saudi clubs are closely monitoring Lewandowski and have approached his camp to explore a possible move this summer. While he has no intentions of leaving, being well settled in Barcelona with his family, financial power of Saudi clubs capable of offering 3 or 4 year deals with astronomical salaries remain a factor. The Saudi market also stays open beyond La Liga's September 1st deadline. Hansi Flick counts on Lewandowski, though his minutes will be managed carefully due to his age this season. If a massive offer guaranteeing more money and a longer deal arise, Barcelona will not block his departure. Essentially saying that if he wants to leave, he can leave, but Barcelona are happy to keep him. So it really comes down to Lewandowski himself. He actually spoke about his future just before this report came out after the Vissel Kobe match, saying that, look, there's a lot on my mind. For me, the most important thing isn't what happens at the end of the season, but what we can do during this one. I'm calm. We will focus on this season first. So again, this is the first time we're seeing Lewandowski provide a bit of doubt. All the past few years when he's asked about his future, I'm happy, I want to stay, I'm happy at Barcelona, blah, blah, blah. Now he's saying, well, you see, after that, the season, my priority right now is the season. After that, we'll wait and see what happens. So this is the first time I think we've seen him create some doubt. Honestly, if we can sell him maybe after the season, that would be remarkable. To bring in, sign him on for 45, get the best out of him, and then sell him for even a little bit, like 10, 20 million. That would be remarkable. But the wait and see if the Saudi clubs do poach any of our strikers, as of course, like the report earlier here from Fernando Polo mentions, the Saudi market is open longer than the La Liga transfer market. And again, the Mercado, anything can happen. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, the big update on Jules Kounde, who has fully agreed and reached an agreement with Barcelona for a contract renewal until 2030, and that will be officially announced and confirmed after the team returns from the Asia Tour next week. Everything's in place. Every single outlet in the world has confirmed it, along with Jules Kounde himself. He was asked during some media work in Asia, will he renew his contract with Barcelona? He said that yes, everything is ready for me to renew until 2030 when we return to Barcelona after the tour. It's been a very fast and easy and quick negotiation. So fantastic. I think this is a player that we had to keep, a player that has full of world-class quality, and very, very excited to see what he can do next season. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Frenkie de Jong. According to Fernando Polo Mundo Deportivo, Barcelona has offered Frenkie de Jong a 2-year contract renewal until 2028 with a performance-based option that can extend it until 2029. However, the club is waiting de Jong to give the green light to begin negotiation, as they must now first resolve a legal dispute with his current agent, Ali Dursun, and he is expected to appoint Fini Zahavi as his new agent. Until that agreement is formally ended, Barcelona cannot negotiate with a new representative or lawyers. Now waiting for him to end his agreement with Ali Dursun. After that, we can speed up the renewal. This might be the one that we focus on in the beginning of the season, that September, October time, but a big renewal. This would be nonetheless a player that is fully deserving of it, and I think very much on the similar path of Jules Kounde, can provide prime years at Barcelona at the highest level, a renewal that is needed in my opinion, and that hopefully will end up coming. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Eric Garcia. Now, Gabriel Sanz of Deportivo came out saying that Eric Garcia's contract renewal is progressing slower than expected, with his contract, of course, ending in 2026. However, Barcelona and the player remain open to reaching an agreement. The club assures that there will be an agreement and that they are certain that it will come sooner rather than later, and Hansi Flick approved the start of the renewal talks, and Eric Garcia's intention is to stay at Barcelona. So things are on the right path, just going a bit slowly. Maybe we're focused on Kounde. We're going to be looking at Frenkie de Jong's case as well, but Eric Garcia's renewal is still amongst those of the prioritization for Barcelona, and I think from last season it is deserved. We're probably looking at the same as Frenkie, maybe a 2-year renewal, 3 years at the absolute most. I don't think we're going to give him like a fat 4-year extension or anything like that, but one that is maybe going slower than what people expect, but an agreement is expected to be reached between all parties. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates around the first team at Barcelona. The only injured player right now on paper is, of course, Bernal. Nobody cares about Ter Stegen. The question now is, when will he return? He is, of course, training with the first team, but Sport came out saying if there's no last-minute setback, Bernal could make his return in the Joan Gamper against Como, but his comeback is guided by a mindset of patience. There is no rush or pressure for his return. Gabriel Sanz confirms as well, saying that Bernal is not expected to feature in either of the last 2 South Korea games on tour, as Barcelona continue to monitor his progress in training. Of course, the other game was yesterday. The club's most optimistic outlook is that he could possibly return for the Joan Gamper on August 10th, but only if needed and only if it's deemed worthwhile. However, ideally, his return would be delayed until September's international break to complete a full year of his injury, avoiding any unnecessary risk. So again, won't see him too much. Very similar to what we had with Gabby last season, so no real general surprise here, and we'll wait and see how things do facilitate. But I tell you what, his training clips are looking absolutely remarkable, and I think he will be a huge asset for the team next season. Let's discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past few days. First up is, of course, the release of the second kit, the Kobe Bryant collaboration, which apparently Barcelona have signed a 3-year deal with the Kobe Bryant brand, so they might get the kits for this season, next season, and the following season after that. We can see it on the screen. Of course, the leaks were all but confirmed, as we did expect. Looks really clean. Can't wait to get my hands on it and to, of course, wear it on video and stream. But the next kit that will be coming out is going to be an El Clasico exclusive kit. Memorabilia came out saying that this on the screen right now will be Barcelona's El Clasico kit for the entirety of next season. It is inspired by the legendary match on November 19, 2025, when Barcelona triumphed 3-0 at the Bernabeu, of course, the Ronaldinho show. This kit looks like shite. It looks nothing like that kit whatsoever. Hopefully, I'm hoping that on the naked eye, it will maybe look a bit better. Like, I think the Kobe Bryant one, for example, is a great example. I think it looked okay on edits, but looks great in person. You see the detail, you see the color, you see what they did, because of course the leaks are not 100% accurate. They're like maybe like 80 to 90%. Same thing here. It looks quite weird. I don't know how this is a flashback to that one. That kit was so simple, so clean, so nice. This one just has striations and stuff. I don't know what the process here with that is, but again, we'll wait and see how things do turn out. But there will be an exclusive El Clasico kit for next season. Now, with the summer signings kind of being wrapped up right now, the club's priority is now player registrations. Fernando Polo Deportivo came out saying that Barca's priority registration right now is among João Garcia, Wojciech Szczesny, and Marcus Rashford, and the main one of those three is João Garcia. Barca believe that with the exits already carried out, plus the auditors counting the VIP seats, the goalkeeper could be registered. The board will go down the route of endorsements if needed. The club has communicated to the keeper and his agent that to reassure them his case is the most urgent one for the club, given the strategic signing who wants to be a starter right from the very start of the match. The reports have been coming out after saying that Barcelona is confident of registering all their players. Management is calm in regards to this. I think Aspen Tel from Rack1 came out saying this, Ben Aid came out saying it as well. So there is calm and tranquility when it comes to player registration. Again, we still have now about 2 weeks till La Liga starts its first game of the season. And again, we do need to register these 3 players, and we'll wait and see how things do turn out. Very quickly, by the way, on Marcus Rashford, there are reports coming out saying there is no penalty clause on his loan move, so we don't actually end up buying him. He goes back to United. We don't have to pay anything for him. We just cover his salary. So we'll wait and see once we get probably near the end of the season that this confirmation will come out. But according to reports right now, there is no penalty clause, and that for me is a big W, and that for me makes paying a lot of his wages sit well with me a bit more. Just a little additional information there, since we are talking about Rashford being registered in La Liga. So we'll wait and see what happens in terms of player registration. The club are ready to give bank guarantees, money from their own pocket, but they feel like it's not needed, and they're very calm around the situation. Now, one big blow that Barcelona are expecting soon is the departure of the vice president of the club, Rafael Yuste. According to Fernando Polo Deportivo, Rafael Yuste is set to return to Barcelona from, Kobe in Japan, and the club's acknowledgement is that this signals his move to Al Nassr, who wants him as CEO. It's a significant offer financially and in pristine, and Laporta will not block it, given their lifelong friendship. If confirmed, board member Gian Soler is the leading candidate to replace him as the sporting vice president. So he is one step away now from making that move to Al Nassr. Again, it's just too good of an offer in terms of prestige and financially for him to refuse. He did come back to Barcelona. He's been doing a lot of work in Barcelona with the academies, making videos and stopping by, and he's still working, man. Just seeing someone that loves the club and working is a beautiful sight to see. It does suck that he might be leaving and probably is leaving, but I think he's done a remarkable job, and he's the perfect example of men that you want working around the club. And just to end off this video, we do have an Espai Barca update. According to Ben Aid, it is very difficult for Barcelona to play the match against Valencia on match day 4 in La Liga at the Spy Camp Nou. The club is seriously considering other options. Fernando Polo came out saying that Barcelona still considers the Spy Camp Nou as plan A for its La Liga home debut to avoid any other public setbacks like the João Gamper case. The club is also preparing a plan B. The Estadio Johan Cruyff is ruled out due to insufficient capacity, leaving the Estadio Olympic Luis Campos as the only viable alternative. So Fernando Polo is saying here, we're either going to play at the Camp Nou or the Olympic Stadium, the Montjuic. That's the current stance of the club. Of course, there were some rumors about the Johan Cruyff Stadium. Absolutely no way. 6,000 capacity in a Liga game. There's no financial revenue, no boost in gross of marketability as well, and also the atmosphere is probably going to be not that great either. 6,000 is not going to be enough for Barcelona. The smallest stadium is, I think, in La Liga is like 8,000 or 9,000 or something like that. So either Camp Nou or Montjuic is the current stance, and we'll wait and see how that turns out. Again, it comes down to construction. There's no financial restriction, nothing with FFP or stuff like that. All comes down to the stadium itself being ready. Now, speaking of La Liga, we do have some big news on a new La Liga rule coming out, which is that they are introducing requests of a VAR review from coaches. You get 2 per game. If you're successful, you get to keep your 2, and if you're wrong, it of course goes down to 1 and 0. So next season in La Liga, coaches can request VAR reviews for penalties, red cards, any wrong decision. They can do it during the game if, of course, VAR do not intervene on their own. Big move here. I really do like it. I think this will be innovative for football as well. I think everyone else will follow suit. Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, Liga North, Eredivisie, I think we'll all follow suit afterwards. I really do like this rule, and we'll see it in action. Very quickly, finally, as well, the Congo deal has gone through with that Heart of Africa sponsorship, 44 million per year for Barcelona over the course of a 4-year agreement. The club officially announced it, I think it was on Wednesday as well. So some money coming in for Barcelona that will hopefully help in terms of the stadium, where again, right now, nobody knows where our home matches will be played to start the La Liga season. It's just going to come down to timing and, seeing how momentum shifts and stuff like that. But it's anyone's guess as things currently stand. So that's my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past few days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. Mainly, of course, firstly on Ter Stegen, what would you do? Secondly, on the captaincy, who would you make the captains? For me personally, I'll probably go Raphinha number 1, De Jong number 2, Pedri number 3, Gavi 4. That way kind of maybe my top 4, and maybe like Lewandowski or Inigo as a 5th one if they would do want to do it that way. Those are their thoughts on the sales. I think we will progress with sales over the next few weeks. And find your thoughts on the renewals of, Koundé being done, De Jong, and Eric Garcia to come as well. And of course, do not forget to subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barça.
Yeah.